Looky-loos stands slack-jawed staring. The real men have the nuts to walk away. Yeah. Cool guys don't look at explosions. They blow things up and then walk away. Who's got time to watch an explosion? There's cool guy errands that they have to walk to. Keep walking, keep shining. Don't look back, keep on walking.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another Genshin Impact video. For this, we're gonna be over Klee real quick, because this is why Klee is awesome. Venti Swirl. Overload into Explosion Lightning. So that's why you should vote for Klee, because you can go explosions inside the swirl. It looks cool. You can watch that again. That's cool as that. Yeah. That's right there. That's why you should vote for Klee. It goes boom in the swirl. Boom, boom. So Venti plus Klee equals OP. Yeah, that. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring Twitch chat on the screen, and we can talk about Klee a bit, so you guys can see everything with her and decide for yourself what you like. So I'll just do this, and then Twitch chat can talk to you at the same time. Oh my god, look at that Twitch chat. Bar. Anyways, so Klee, if you didn't know, has their own story mission inside the game. If you want to link to this video, I have the whole story mission. If you don't want to push all the way to that point in the story and do the mission yourself, you can check it out in the link in the description below. Check that out. But essentially, there's a whole story mode locked for Klee that you can actually do in the game that unlocks her, and you can actually try her out. And what she has is, for her kit, is she has a charge attack that has an explosion that comes out. It's very, very cool to watch and very fun to do. She has little bombs that she throws there, and you can see I'm very excited about the whole thing because I've never used Klee before in this video. She throws a lot of bombs as well, and a lot of cool things. Her E ability has 2 charges to start with, and it does come out, and the E ability, you can see, drops little bombs around the floor there, and the little bombs there can also be sucked up into that Venti swirl that I showed you earlier, and do kaboom, boom, 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 boom damage. So it's a very, very cool reactor to actually get a lightning charge swirl or other different kind of swirl, get lots of overloads in there to do large amounts of damage. So that's why Klee is very, very fun and very cool as a unit to rock with Venti if you are big whalen. If you did reroll for Venti and then you end up wanting to pull for a character, Klee would be a very cool option because of her ability to do large amounts of damage for enemies inside swirls, because she has AoE pyro damage. Her overall kit, and the actual thing they give us is a Constellation 3, and none of the abilities in Constellation 3 massively boost your damage in a way that's really unfair. So overall, like as you can see from her overall attack, she actually starts at a pretty high attack value, at starting at, I believe, 72% on her overall damage here, I believe, and 72% as far as an auto attack goes is about the same as, I believe, a one-handed weapon most of the time. So with 0 talents, with the 72% going all the way to 89%, that's what it is. The charge attack starts at 157, which is much lower than a character like Barbara or Mona or something like that. So it's a little bit lower on the damage. But when using a charge attack, you actually have a very, very powerful mechanic with her passive. Her first passive ability, when Jumpty Dumpty and normal attacks, deal damage, she has a 50-50 shot to give an explosive spark. Now, this explosive spark is consumed on the next charge attack, and it costs no stamina. That's why you use a lot of charge attacks on Klee, and it does 50% increased damage. So when you're using Klee, if you do any hits with the bombs or the small bombs that come around, anytime you have a 50-50 shot at when you do damage to get that kind of spark to get you a bigger charge attack damage. So 50% bump on this damage, I believe, would be an multiplicative. If it's additive, then it goes up to 207%. That's still really, really high as far as the charge attack goes. So if you're using an E or an auto attack, you get a very large damage on charge attack. That's why it's a little OP. Now, if it is a multiplicative multiplier, it's insane. The second passive ability is when a charge attack results in a critical strike, all party members gain 2 energy. This can help you with ulti rushing very, very heavily, because Klee starts at 60 energy cost, which is a pretty mid-range energy cost. And if you get crits on your actual energy cost for your ultimates, it can do large amounts of damage against enemies. What I do recommend for Klee, as far as gameplay goes, is synergizing with characters like, you can synergize with a character like Mona, you can synergize with Chi-Chi, you can do it with Kaya, a lot of different other characters for the other banners coming out. So I believe that it would be a very, very fun character for playing around with. If you're free to play and you're not looking to pull this character, it's not going to be the end-all be-all character for characters. It is a cool fire character, but you do have Zhang Ling and other characters that you can play around with. So definitely consider pulling for Klee if you you do want to get a fire mage. Currently, I don't believe there's any other fire mages in the game, but if you do have Big Daddy Diluc is another character that already performs the task that Klee does very, very admirably as well. So Klee and Diluc, if you have one or the other, would be fine. Having both of them is kind of, redundant, so you don't really need both. However, the sets for Klee are very, very strong, and now I can give you some opinions on what I believe are best sets and weapons. Now, based on what I was seeing for Klee for an early game weapon, I believe the best weapons you can use for her would possibly be for a 3-star weapon, the Tails of the Dragon for something, or the Twin Nephrite. And Twin Nephrite seems like the easiest possible weapon for you to get extra crit rate, and crit rate, of course, gives you bigger damage. For a 4-star weapon and up, for the craftable weapon, of course, I'm gonna recommend the Mappa Mare, I believe it's called. Where is it? Mappa Mare. There it is. Mappa Mare. Triggering an elemental reaction gets you extra damage bonus, and that gives you elemental mastery, so you get more elemental reaction. It's probably the best possible weapon for your craftable weapon. And as far as a overall weapon, I recommend the Battle Pass weapon, the Solar Pearl, to give you a critical rate increase. Because you get the critical rate increase, you can actually exacerbate her passive. Of course, that gives you the Sparking Burst, and when you get a crit, you get more energy for your team, helping you get your ultimates off faster and do more damage. So it allows you to do a main on Klee to do a little bit more damage. As far as artifacts goes, for suggestions, what I can give you is the best possible artifact sets early on are going to be a 2-and-2 set between Instructor and Berserker. So if you're really early in the game and you didn't want to test out a little strategies, you can, of course, use an Instructor and Berserker set on your Klee. If you're re-rolling for Klee, that would be a very, very, very fun thing to do. I'm not sure what you're going to be doing, but, if you did want to do that, that would be the set that I, in particular, would run on her. When you go toward the mid-game, Attack is really good with Critical Chance. That is a very, very smart build. You can then move away from more Elemental Mastery builds if you're not trying to do an Elemental Reaction kind of thing. But of course, if you're using a Mappa Mare, you might want to go with the direction of more Elemental Mastery to get more damage. If you are going with a more critical build, then I would stick with Attack and Berserker set to start with. And if you wanted to go to the late game, what's really interesting about Klee is that the Crimson Witch of the Flames is kind of a weird set for her, because the way that the Crimson Witch of the Flame works on the 4-set base bonus and why it's so good for Diluc is because it will work based on your using an elemental skill. And using an elemental skill gives you a 2-set beast bonus increase and actually boosts your overall pyro damage. But because the Crimson Witch of the Flames actually max at 3 stacks, and you actually have a very, very long cooldown on Klee, you have some issues with her. So going back into Klee, her overall cooldown on Jumpty Dumpty is actually 20 seconds, but you do get 2 charges. So you can throw out one elemental skill and another elemental skill, so you can actually get 2 sets of it. But the problem is, of course, you're not get that 3rd set, so you're gonna have a little bit nerf on your damage as far as the overall max that you can do on your damage for the set. So between the 2 sets, you might be better off going with an Attack or Critical Chance set with your pyro damage set. So just know that you will not get the full bonus of the Crimson Witch of the Flames because you're using it this way. That's what I think about Klee as far as an overall character. I think she's an incredible unit, lots of fucking potential, and she's amazing. I just want to pull her because she's super, super cool. The bombs, the cuteness, the way she runs, like, it's awesome. So I definitely will be pulling for Klee when she comes out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, of course, like and subscribe, all the fun stuff, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.